Hello, everyone, and welcome to Multi-Thon Rivals 2025. You did it! You all believed hard enough. Return Scepter is basically the Ruby Slippers if you think about it, which I will not be doing, because here to handle that brain power in Stardew Valley 2v2 Lockout Bingo, please welcome to the stage MelMelMelCrochets, Princess Shortcake, a 20-something loser, and theValiantSun.
Hi everyone, welcome to 2v2 Bingo. My name is Lee, aka a 20-something loser, and I also have some pretty cool friends here with me, so I'll let everybody else introduce themselves as well.
Hi, I'm MelMelMelCrochets. You can call me Mel.
Hi, I'm Grace, also known as Princess Shortcake. I forgot to say the username part, but hi, that's me.
And hello everybody, my name is theValiantSun, but you can just call me Jess.
We are also joined with some super lovely people here on commentary who will be taking over for our voices here, pretty much telling you all that you need to know what is actually going down here today, which we have...
Hello, hi, I'm Blackheart Wings. I'm very happy to be here, super excited, and I have a friend with me.
Hi, I'm the friend. Hi, I'm Zachary20XX, or just Zachary. Yeah, here with Gabby to talk about what's going on once we banish the runners to their corners to bingo it out.
Speaking of banishing, shall we see the board and be banished and y'all talk things?
I think that sounds great.
I think so.
Sounds good to me. Team wifeys, team whatever you want, Jess. Good luck.
Thank you. Great.
Thank you.
Godspeed and good luck, gamers.
All right. Gonna give the countdown here in a second and let them know to reveal boards. And have given them a 2 to 3 minute countdown. So they're off getting ready. Gabby, we want to talk about this dang bingo board? See what's going on in there?
It's definitely a bingo board of all time. We had line of 5 bingo in mind when we generated this bingo board, which is definitely possible. But they're doing lockout bingo, which is going to make things especially spicy.
Yeah, we got all kinds of, we got a good variance here of the goals we've got set up on some fast ones, some slower ones. Just off the top of my head, some fast one. Level 2 farming, especially in a multiplayer file, can be pretty quick. That paired up with the parsnip percent for with the Amogus pattern, you make a little Amogus guy on
He's just a little guy. He hangs out. It's a good time.
So with 2 players worth of parsnips, that's a pretty good start on your level 2 farming there if one person harvests all of those. The other thing I remember us talking about when we were vetting out this board was a lot of good mining synergy. You'll see in like row 2 there's level 2 mining, mines 50, various other ones around the board that are variously mines based.
And I think giving early mine synergy will be helpful with a lot of the later goals. Building a coop, for example, and milking a cow are 2 kind of more advanced goals that involve money and chopping down trees. So those will all be useful, especially later on as they progress throughout our run here. Where 2 rings, I feel, is an especially interesting square, along with collect Master Cannoli's Star Drop. I feel like we definitely need to keep an eye out on whoever gets that one first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those 2 are probably looking like our longer ones. Yeah, the milk cow, Star Drop, coop, etc.
But we have a lot of really good ways to start out first. Winning the Egg Festival, for example, and 50 salmon berries are 2 very early ones that they can get straight out the gate, depending on how they decide to progress.
All right, and if we didn't call it out, runners are off. Timing is gone. All right, we got that. Perfect. All right, so let's see.
What have we got here?
In the first couple days.
This makes sense. The mines don't open until day 5. So sleeping for the first few days sounds about right.
Yeah, as they've labeled themselves in the Discord chats that they've been sent off to, team, whatever you want, Jess, let me see how the layout looks. They're on the right side. Looking like Lee is rushing towards the mines and Jess is getting a bunch of forage on the forest farm.
They've both chosen the forest farm, which is interesting. Hat urchin percent is on the board, which had me suspect that maybe one of them would pick the beach farm, especially because if they're going to delve into mines, beach farm is one of the 2 optimal farm types that you can pick. So it looks like they've opted for the forest farm, which I think overall is the long-term choice.
Yeah, I'd call that kind of your default speedrun farm for the most part.
For sure.
You can get money set up pretty easily. You can get some foraging XP, all that good stuff to kind of get going on that. So let's see. We're seeing soon to be 4 out of 4 players in the mines early on, kind of as expected, honestly. So, like we said, things that they might be after, getting set up for Where 2 rings, the level 2 mining, mines 50, the dwarfs over there that you gotta bomb through, for the row 2 column 3 square of Talk to the Dwarf. You don't have to understand him though. He's got his own special little language, and to talk to them, you've got to get a bunch of artifacts and take those to the museum. Would be truly a miserable goal to try and fit into 1 hour, honestly.
It's definitely a lot.
Let's see, yeah. So I think we're just probably pushing for depth in the mines, as my hunch just moved towards mines 50. Seeing other stuff that we might have here. Things we might see in rows 4 and 5, column 4. We've got Gift Harvey a coffee and Gift Leah a salad. Both of those you can buy from the Stardrop Saloon, which doesn't open until noon. So I would say maybe a possibility later in the day, towards the end of mining. We could see somebody going and running to go take care of that.
Definitely, especially with that starting 500 gold. That's something that they can absolutely opt for to start the day and start the run as well. Money is definitely going to be a thing that they need to keep in mind, especially with building a coop and milking a cow, goodness. But also there is in column 3, row 5, collect 1 tree fruit from the bat cave. You need to have a specific amount of money. I believe it's 15k in order to activate that cutscene so they can choose the fruit bats for the cave that is on the farm. Starting off with mines will give them a good head start as far as collecting that 15k goes.
Yeah, I would be interested to see if they're gonna push for like your copper and iron to maybe set up sprinklers. Kind of hard to say on that if that's a good idea in a 1 hour run to get some farming going for money for that.
Ooh, we've got our first square. Every team player wears boots.
Right, yeah. The team in pink, aka Team Wifeys, as their Discord channel is labeled on the left side of the screen here. Using, I believe, I actually was just thinking I hadn't checked this as they were setting up files, but using the default non-remixed mines rewards. So on level 10, getting free boots for both of them. And speaking of their team, Mel is escaping the mines, running out of there. So I'm curious to see what she's up to.
Meanwhile, team, whatever you want it to be, Jess, are continuing their delve into the mines. They have made it. This is floor 12. So they are definitely dedicated to doing this mines dive at the moment. Grace is also continuing their mines dive as well. It looks like she has just made it to floor 14, and it looks like Mel is in fact waiting outside of the Stardrop Saloon.
Yeah, it looks like it's just hit noon on her screen. She's heading in there waiting for Gus. Oh, popping back out of there. Maybe going to do something quick at Pierre's shop before then.
She's doing a quick sell.
Be interested to see with just Grace in the mines if Lee and Jess can pull away on mines floors.
It is a very tight race in the mines. They are about 1 floor apart each. Yeah, it looks like Mel has got that coffee. And gifting Harvey there. That's another square. Team Wifey is taking an early lead.
Get that one kind of boxed out while the other team is hammering away at the mines, both of them. So we'll see if that shakes out for them of being able to, maybe push for mines 50 ahead of time and steal that one, since Grace is also trying to get some progress in that. I didn't see. Hold on, let me check this board again. Did we have the crab pot bundle one on here, or am I thinking of one of the other ones? It is, yeah.
It sure
Grace
is, yeah.
had
Thanks,
a
Quack.
crab, and doesn't look like she picked that up on the previous floor, so that's interesting on that one.
Might be a bit of an oversight. It does look like our runners on team, whatever you want it to be, Jess, have made it to floor 19, which is a significant advantage. They have, in fact, pulled ahead of Grace on Team Wifey's. This is the advantage of having both players in the mines. So while Team Wifey's does have an early lead with some of our squares, Team Whatever You Want It to Be, Jess, is playing the long game.
They're getting floor 19 pretty bad right about now, rounding the lower left corner, just making the whole loop on this spiral floor, unfortunately.
Yeah, that RNG is brutal. But, they've found it. Oh, and there's one ring.
Oh, yeah, glow rings for both of them.
Let's see, they decided to opt for the randomized mines, correct?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, and they've spoken with the dwarf.
Yeah, Grace popping back up. Are they... Okay, so Mel's getting a chair. Oh, building the top right square. They have a dinner date. We're placing 2 chairs and a table outside with a food item. Oh, using that salad.
Using that salad for Leia. Wow. They are really pulling ahead here. This is...
Yeah, a commanding early lead, blocking off a bunch of these. Before really Jess and Lee, can think about them.
This is still anybody's game, though, because Monster Floor is still on the table, and so is Mines 50. There are a few things. Level 2 mining, for example, with the 2 of them plucking away at the mines and they've gifted Leah a salad. There we go. That is commanding lead thus far.
It does look like Grace is maybe heading back from the mines, so we'll see how this plays out, because I don't remember if she even got to floor 20 to hit that elevator checkpoint, but Lee and Jess at least making it to 25 today. Parentheses, hopefully I didn't just caster curse them. They actually do get this ladder on this floor.
Only time will tell. Knock on wood. There you go. Okay, they've made it out.
They've made it. You never know. The mines are truly evil sometimes.
And they've made it to a monster floor. The monster floors are completely randomized, and so that really could have been anyone's game. It looks like Jess is calling it a day and exhausting, and so is Lee? Nope, Lee is running home.
Running home, or is she going to... Does she have anything she could stop by and do on the way home? That's the real question here. Maybe not. Maybe they're just worried about money and only want one person passing out. Trying to think of what this could be. I'm thinking it just, maybe running back, trying to conserve a little bit of money from passing out. Let's see, Mel and Grace sleeping through a few extra days here. Maybe I didn't see if they're checking for luck. Doesn't look like it.
I think they are gunning for the Egg Festival.
Oh, they might just be beelining it for the Egg Festival. That would be very fun. Okay. Seeing a level 1 mining on Lee's screen at least. Didn't see if Jess also got that, but that does get them started on level 2 mining square there in row 2. See what they're doing, if they're popping back out or if they are sleeping straight through. No one's got a TV nearby, so they're not checking luck for the mines at the very least.
It is spring 13th, so it looks like they are gunning for that Egg Festival, though it looks like they are also doing parsnip percent with the Among Us.
Interesting that no one did this right away. I would have thought maybe this is a thing you do days 1 through 5, your usual parsnips and water. But pretty good strategy while you're waiting for the time gate to open up here at 9 a.m. for the egg festival.
Agreed.
To, spend some of this time. Are we seeing the same thing on the other team? It looks like we might be. So this is a egg hunt race.
We have gotten where to rings. Jess has marked off where to rings. Look at that. We've got 2 glow rings. Absolutely amazing. Up with Lee.
I was wondering about that because they both grabbed them and didn't right away like do the inventory management to figure that out. It looks like for their start of the day, they're maybe heading back for the mines and or grabbing some forage. Maybe a little
Definitely.
Potentially. We've got a little Mogus guy, so in a few days worth of watering and or rainfall, they'll be able to pick those parsnips and mark that square. Coming up, we got about in-game an hour 10 until, right about an hour actually now, until the egg festival starts. It's 8 a.m. on Mel and Grace's screen on your left. And an in-game hour pass is about 45 seconds roughly. I want to say it's technically like 42, like 7 seconds a tick or something like that. But
Something like that, yeah.
hanging out, waiting, staring at the bus stop. Classic multiplayer and or really single player technique of just waiting to get into the egg festival. So this might be, a little bit of a snipe on if Lee and Jess were planning on doing the same thing. Kind of same idea here, but they're in the mines and also got a slightly slower start to this day since they were in the mines longer on day 1. Or their first active day, rather. Oh, we are in the egg festival. So we'll see if anyone can do the task route of getting 18 eggs here. Wandering around. I doubt it, but it could happen.
Over in team, whatever you want it to be, Jess, it does look like Lee did a check for levels and was checking to see what her mining level was at. They are continuing to pluck away, so I think they are continuing to play the long game here in prioritizing at least mines 50 and getting level 2 mining.
An interesting one I'm seeing, we're coming up on spring 13th. We're nearly to salmonberry season. So after this day, I'm interested, I assume whoever gets there first, probably both teams, if it doesn't get marked right away, are going to look for that get 50 salmonberries in our top left of the board. Is a possibility for a next up, I would think.
It also looks like Jess has exited the mine. Both players have exited the mines over on team whatever you want it to be, Jess, while team wifeys have already made significant progress through the egg festival.
Right, and that's looking like egg festival done. I'm assuming they managed to win on this one, but we'll see what Merritt Lewis has to say about that.
We do have to wait for confirmation, and there it is. And it looks like our friends marked them off at the same time.
That's a tough break for Lee and Jess because they look to be also starting the egg hunt, and I don't have a way of getting out of that, so they just get to do the egg hunt for the fixed amount of time now.
Although there is a good reason to continue doing the egg festival if they do want to get hat urchin percent done. This is one of 2 steps for getting. This is an interesting strategy that I've never seen before, actually, in that Lee is just standing there and Jess is collecting the eggs.
Just staring down Merritt Lewis.
It's a good strategy, honestly. It guarantees that at least one of them wins.
Yeah, because that is one tough break on this. If you kind of play it wrong on multiplayer, steal eggs from each other, you could end up potentially losing to Abigail on that, which would be very sad. You never want to lose to Abigail in the Egg Fest.
So true. She's so smug about it when she wins, too.
She is. Usually a big fan of Abigail, but the Egg Fest, it's, somebody's got to win and it's going to be me.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah, we are seeing on the Mel and Grace's screen. They're frolicking about the valley looking for these salmon berries. As Jess and Lee wrap this up, and on Jess's screen we have the hat. So that is, yeah, good start to our hat urchin square, which for those who don't know, the hat urchin, based on a meme speedrun in the Stardew community, you get yourself a fish tank, you put an urchin in it, you put a little hat on it. It's very cute.
One of the darlings, I would say, of Stardew Valley speedrunning is our meme categories. We've got good ones.
Yeah, so many, they're all very silly.
My personal favorite is underwear soup.
Underwear soup's a great run too. That's just a funny one. That is kind of a bummer to not see on this square. I know that's one of their goals possibly in here is to do something silly with Lewis's shorts, whether that be the luau or the Grange display at the Stardew Valley Fair in fall.
It looks like we are planting seeds over here on team whatever you want it to be, Jess. Though I'm not quite sure if that's an Among Us.
I was about to say, that looks like King of all Cosmos, or Prince of all Cosmos from Katamari. I don't know if that's an Amogus.
I don't know if I'm ready to unmark it because, for it not being an Amogus, but I think you may be right that it is more of a King of all Cosmos. Look, it's got 2 feet, it's got a little face mask hump out the front of it. I'm gonna count it, but, you know, I might just have to really drill down on what happened out there.
It looks like they are prioritizing parsnip percent over the salmon berries, which I think is a pretty good move.
Yeah, it'd be good for them to get that, be a good snipe against the other two, who it looks like Grace back in the mines. She's about to experience floor 19. We'll see if it's nicer to her.
There you go, and there they've marked it off with that extra rain day, which was incredibly helpful RNG.
Ooh, yeah. Getting some parsnips. Looks like Lee getting her first farming level out there. With the base starting parsnips, yeah, you'll get guaranteed farming level 1 there. Let's see. Believe Mel still just wandering around for salmon berries. Seeing Lee's maybe doing the same. Jess chopping some trees. This could be for maybe a handful of things, but I would assume maybe starting towards build a coop would be one possibility there.
I agree. Coop is one of the cheaper initial buildings that you can buy. That I see that we've built a chest. So this is inventory management.
Building a chest. We love inventory management here.
First sighting of building a chest 20 minutes in.
Truly a feat, yeah. Nearly 20 minutes of just whatever happens to get in your pockets.
I mean, to be fair, in those 20 minutes, 9 goals got marked, so, like,
it's been a quick
busy.
It's been quite competitive.
Yeah. So we had a strong commanding lead, but we're really coming back on the team whatever you want, Jess.
It does look like Lee has made it all the way down to floor 32, which is an impressive feat. These are the dark floors of the mines, which are often dreaded for speedrunners because the ladders become increasingly difficult to see unless you decide to bring in some sort of torch with you or if you have a glow ring, which Lee does, and that mitigates a lot of... It offsets a lot of the darkness and is incredibly helpful.
Yeah.
Mel over here with Team Wifey's still plucking away at those salmon berries. It does look like she's making great progress, though.
Yeah, I can't quite tell because we've got 4 screens on this screen and the tiny little numbers in the inventory are made for ants, but well into the double digits at least. It looks like maybe that team is headed back to bed, though. Probably exhausted all of the salmon berries and probably all of Grace's energy in the mines. We're making some really good progress on, was that 34? I can't remember my layouts, but I think that's what that says. Just well into the dark floors.
Definitely floor 34, yes. And they're using those parsnips.
Yeah, using the parsnips. The synergies. You love to see it.
Using the parsnips that they planted to continue. This means that Lee is able to spend longer time in the mines, especially as you go further down. The stones become harder to break with a basic pickaxe, which is what they're working with here. We've hit floor 35, so Lee is plucking away, and as she plucks away, it also means that she's working on that level 2 mining level as well. Jess, in the meantime, does look like is doing their best to get the 50 salmon berries, which definitely a good move. They are later on in the season, which means that there are more available salmon berry bushes. As the season goes on, salmon berries grow on more and more bushes, which means that there are more to collect. Definitely a good move on this end here.
Yeah, we're really seeing, like, on the diagonals here, kind of very similar strategies from these teams at this point, where one person's kind of soloing it in the mines, and then another person out trying to get all those salmon berries, which, hey, again, if you haven't completed the mines by then, that's going to be good to food to kind of finish up the last 10 floors there.
Absolutely.
Which I have not actually checked to see if we've seen the pop-up on a new mining level from Lee. She's getting some copper, clearing a lot of floors. She's probably getting dang close, if not. Oh, that's 50 salmon berries. All right.
Very good get from Jess.
Yeah, that is huge.
We have just done a confirmation check, and it looks like Lee is still on level 1 mining. But level 39 in the mines, they are really making exceptional progress.
I'm seeing an interesting choice from Jess here. Maybe it was just for fun, style points, swag, whatever you want to say. But while wearing a hat, has gotten an extra hat, possibly for just wanting a different hat for the hat urchin.
Interesting.
The special Spring 17th one where you find a little pot of gold and the leprechaun hat there at the bottom.
And Lee has achieved level 2 mining. You love to see it.
Right, and making good progress, nearly to the ice floors.
She's hit the ice floors.
Looks like she is going to keep pushing today. So that, oh, maybe not.
Oh.
Unless she is resetting for iron. Again, could be looking to set up sprinklers. Oh, no, we are grabbing the
Slingshot. That is a really good get because we do have hit 10 NPCs with a rock via slingshot on this board.
Well, it's running for a good time. We're about to see a lot of NPCs get hit with a slingshot.
Off we go. That's one. Poor Linus.
Count with us here.
Count with us, chat. We've got one NPC.
Grace having a real interesting time on a very large floor layout that's a monster floor here. Just getting after it with a steel small sword, it looks like.
It looks like Lee is struggling a bit with the aiming. We are adjusting our firing mode, and this should make things a little bit easier too. I'm not doing that the whole time, but we do have 3.
You got only 7 more, it's fine.
Yeah, no, you committed at this point. I'm sorry.
All right, fair enough. We are returning tomorrow.
Really trying to just get that whole household, huh? We already got Demetrius and Robin. We had to find
4. If you hear buzzing, don't worry about it. My sister is texting me photos. 5. I've yeah. 6. You're so. Oh God. Ooh,
just getting close for 45 here in the mines too. So
7.
Let's go 7. Oh no, we're about to get the Jody's house. Oh, no one be seen.
No one's home.
Oh, Evelyn.
8.
No.
Poor Evelyn. Get Lewis though. Get him.
Yeah, get
all
Lewis.
My homies hate Lewis. 9. And
oh,
that one hit the counter, so it doesn't quite count. 10.
Thank you, Gabby. If nothing else, this was the most important thing you could have done. You've been doing a great job otherwise, but this really one step above. Really
It
professional.
looks like we're getting Pam as like an extra backup, but
Yeah,
they
just in
did
case.
just in case. But it's very solid. It looks like. Let's see. Speaking of counting, let's count how many squares we've got here. We've got
6 to 6.
There you go.
We're back all
A
tied up.
dead tie. It is incredibly honestly, it's very impressive how Team Whatever You Want It to Be, Jess, has made their comeback.
Yeah, they're
Well,
really playing
team-
the long game on a few of these.
They
And
really
looking like they're going to clean up on Mines 50, which the other two are, they're working their way through the dark floors, but that's going to be a tough break for the time they spent in there.
Definitely.
Yeah, so question for the Stardew knowers. Assuming
Mhm.
that Team Whatever You Want, Jess, does win out on Mines 50, is there any reason for Team Wifeys to continue? Any other goals that would keep them in the mines, or is it just pure sunk cost and they've wasted those floors?
So maybe one thing I'd say, if they get to the iron floors here, the starting at floor 40, if they were going to try and set up resources to maybe get a sprinkler to start setting up a money operation for like building a coop or building the barn to get that cow in, those are maybe, and also the money cap for unlocking the bat cave. So resources maybe, but any deeper than just like getting to 41, probably not. Not that I'm seeing here.
There's definitely opportunities to farm gemstones and extra items to use.
True.
Yeah. But definitely, at least in a casual playthrough, you want to make it to at least somewhere between floor 40 and floor 45, just to have access to the iron. That is a very helpful mid-game resource that you want to get.
Yeah, there's like probably the two big money routes in like Stardew speedruns. One we're seeing some version of here of trying to potentially, if they end up going for it, setting up to get resources for sprinklers and growing a bunch of crops and flipping those season to season into bigger and more expensive stuff. The other one would be, if any of them ends up getting to winter, they could do winter tilling. I'm seeing Lizard asking in chat if anyone chose Legacy RNG. I did not actually see that and haven't been paying enough attention to if there's any indicators of that, but
chances are good that they did, just on principle of needing a lot of money for winter forage farming, especially considering that there are goals like build a coop, milk a cow, and I think and the bat cave. Those are all things that need exceptional amounts of money that will come very easily from winter forage farming.
Yeah. Another good call out from chat is that we're having a real streamer your health moment on Lee's stream in the top right here. Luckily, it has a lot of parsnips on her, but it is an unfortunate situation.
It looks like the daily luck is not doing them any favors today. It's kind of scary actually. But they did find they have in fact found their staircase, and they're at floor 47, so that is 3 floors left, and that is a really great iron deposit. Yeah. So they are making excellent work moving forward. Over here on Team Wifeys, they have also made it down to the floor 40. They are on 42, I believe, if I can see correctly.
43, yeah.
43.
And we're seeing a freebie there, but we're on 49 over on the other screen and bombing around looking for that ladder. So we're very close on this. This is going to be, possibly a real heartbreaker here for Mel and Grace to just barely miss out on this Mines 50.
Just barely miss it. Yeah, there they go. They have just hit Mines 50. Yeah, that's Mines 50 on the board. With
Lee's health just like so bad right now, out of parsnips.
Goodness gracious, that is good.
You say out of parsnips, I say exactly the right number of parsnips brought with her.
You're
Some
so
might say
right.
calculated. Looks like the other two passing out as well.
They made it to floor 45, which is still a good benchmark to have, even if they don't decide to continue their trek down into floor 50. Now the question is, where will the runners stop next? Will they sleep through all of summer to get to fall so they can get that golden pumpkin and Linus's basket? Or will they stop in the summer to get hat urchin % and a few items for the crab pot bundle?
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. I am, yeah, curious to see if anyone's gonna go out and do some beach checks for Crab Pot Bundle. But yeah, besides that, there's not a ton of stuff directly during summer that you'd have to do necessarily.
I think the big thing for summer would be the sea urchin, because those start to
True, there
spawn
is
in the
that.
summer.
At least on team whatever you want it to be, Jess. I know Jess did get a start on chopping some trees, so if you had to, you could, for 300 wood, repair the bridge and get to the right side of the beach there, where you can more often get the sea urchin. But yeah, during the summer there is that period of time where they spawn in the main beach, and you could maybe skip out on that and spend less wood that you'd want for your coop and barn.
And we have hit the half-hour mark, so we are halfway through. And it looks like, despite the early lead, Team Wifey's is slightly behind.
Mhm.
There is still always
Yeah.
a chance to make a comeback, though.
Yeah, we're at a 7-6 split, so they're not too far behind by any means, and half-hour mark and 13 out of 25 goals marked. So we're keeping right on pace here to
We sure are trucking.
maybe see a blackout potentially. Seeing a lot of sleeping. We're getting through spring pretty quickly here.
Both teams have hit summer by the looks of it.
And not much sign of getting out and about during summer. Maybe just a little too hot. The one stay. I don't think this farmhouse probably has air conditioning, but maybe it's a little more temperate than the summer weather here in Pelican Town. This is honestly the real Stardew speedrunning experience. Is just
Yeah, it's
get in the
big
file
nap
with your
time.
friends and you sleep through a full season. Yeah, I'm curious to see if we like pop out in fall, maybe do some crops, because crop bundle. I suppose if they want to do the master cannoli star drop, somebody needs to go grab a rare seed from the cart sometime before fall.
There are a few objectives that we have to hit during the fall. The fall crops bundle is that middle square there, and it can be it will definitely be tight, but it's definitely doable. All right, what have we got going on over here? Team Wifeys have emerged from their sleep, from their big nap on summer 13th. It looks like Grace is chopping away at some wood, and Mel is meandering.
Yeah, just frolicking about, checking around for some stuff.
I think she's headed to the beach.
Yeah, almost certainly headed to the beach, but you gotta check the trash cans as you head to the beach. Something good could be in there.
It's the law.
Looks like we got a quick pop outside to sell some stuff from Lee and Jess. Possibly setting up for maybe some sort of summer crops. Maybe they just want some extra money for, honestly, who knows? Setting up for maybe flipping that into more money. Looks like Mel's doing a check to see if the right side of the beach maybe had a sea urchin. I couldn't see one.
I also couldn't see one.
Yeah, trying to determine if it'd be worthwhile to spend that 100 wood. Oh, I am seeing on Grace's screen, she does have a crab for crab pot bundle coming out of the mine, so eventually went and got one of those, it looks like. So that'd be a good start on that. The rest you can just get from the beach.
It looks like they are making they have made a head start in the crab pot bundle, but something to note is that I don't think either of these runners have spoken to the wizard yet.
That is
or
interesting.
either of these teams.
Yeah, so if you want to complete the crab pot bundle, you got to go into the community. Well, first of all, you've got to enter town at 8 a.m. on a sunny day. Well, between 8 a.m. and 1 p.m. And then go touch the plaque in the community center, go meet the wizard, and then finally you can actually interact with the bundles. It does look like, I was curious on the day choice here on our right side. It looks like they're going out on a traveling cart day, and Jess has picked up that rare seed to set up for the Master Cannoli Star Drop. Interesting note here, rule set that we're looking at mostly the standard glitchless speedrun rule set, but this being a short bingo showcase, it was agreed upon that they're allowed to do chair-based progression skipping. Sitting on chairs is legal here, so they can use that to get into the secret woods for that Master Cannoli Star Drop. So they won't have to actually upgrade the axe twice to be able to do that, because that's a lot of money and a lot of time to sink into in a 1 hour run.
I'm very fond of the secret wood stump jump myself.
It's very funny. just grab a chair. You got one to start with. You get over there. You illegally sit and do a progression skip. And you just get in there. See what's going on.
I'm not sure which is more emblematic of the absurdity of Stardew sentences out of context. Oh my gosh, neither team has talked to the wizard, or sitting in chairs is legal here.
Yeah, it's so important to mention. 1, no one has talked to the local resident wizard in this nice farming game. 2, chairs are normally illegal in glitchless runs, but we've legalized them here. If you learn 2 things about this finger run, that's it.
It looks like Jess on team, whatever you want it to be, Jess, has they also found another, I see the leprechaun hat now.
Yeah, Lee's rocking the leprechaun hat for swag.
Yeah, it's great. But it looks like they have indeed initiated the quest progression to speak to the wizard, so they are, again, definitely thinking ahead here on summer 12th. Meanwhile, Team Wifeys have advanced significantly through the summer and are now on summer 27th, which is a Saturday.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if Team Whatever You Want It to Be, Jess, if this is their last summer day and they're just sleeping straight through to get that start on getting that rare seed grown and all the various fall crops, etc., or if they've got any other business in summer checking for sea urchins with the lake. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of tree chopping from Mel. Grace doing
no look on those sea urchins, though. It's a rough draw.
Also, only the clam on the beach as far as items for the crab pot bundle, which is pretty rough. Pretty typical, but a bummer nonetheless. Those are your most likely by a long shot. You got a cockle, a oyster, and mussel are your other options there. Need 5 total. 1 is that crab, and then the other 4 that you can pick up on the beach is kind of your typical layout here.
It looks like Team Wifeys have also put in the steps to initiate the speaking to the wizard quest line. So now both teams have initiated and started the steps towards being able to deposit items into the community center. Important to note.
On the
go ahead,
beach
Zach.
Forage. Sorry, yeah. Just saying, yeah, again, same situation. Just clams and nothing else on the beach. No sea urchin, no nothing. Go ahead.
It's important to note that Saturday is the most optimal day to check for forageable items. So the forageable items reset every Sunday or at the end of the day on Saturday, and so you are more likely to have more items on a Saturday than you are any day of the week. On Sunday, everything resets and you start from 0 on the outside of the farm. Within the farm, the forageable items reset at the end of a season. Which is why usually when you're doing something like a craftsroom run, you will sleep through most of the season and do a lot of your gathering on the forest farm. Which is definitely something that the runners may or may not have considered. Because you do need to complete at least 1 bundle in order to unlock the...
At the very least, I saw him picking up forage in multiple seasons. I guess I haven't seen what everyone's like keeping away, squirreling away in chests. If Team Wifeys has a chest yet, I haven't been checking on if we ever got some inventory management on that side of.
It does look like their inventory is quite full of items. Let me see. Yeah, they do have at least their sword and their watering can, so they have not built a chest yet. Yeah, it looks like they still have all of their items in their inventory and are working with a limited inventory. So no chest yet on Team Wifeys, at least for the time being. And they have emerged in the fall.
Interestingly, I don't think they ever picked up a rare seed, so maybe they're just skipping out on this Master Cannoli Star drop.
Perhaps.
We'll see about that. Yeah, so they've made it all the way to the start of fall. Looks like we're working our way through summer, sleeping through all that. Oh, Mel is picking up Linus's basket. So that's a good pull. They didn't start off on fall 1, waited till that basket showed up, and are gonna get that to Linus probably right away. Nice easy guy to find, luckily. Also, this feels kind of like just the goal progression here feels pretty typical. Sorry, there's a lot of easy stuff right away, and then suddenly the big sleep through a bunch of stuff as we're getting set up for various things.
It definitely tracks. All right. It looks like over here on Team Wifey's, they are going to be concluding the wizard quest line in order to be able to deposit things into the community center. So that is what Grace will be doing. Mel, meanwhile, looks like is returning Linus's basket to him, and that will be another square. Just as soon as she gets there. There they go.
It's kind of nice that Mel's returning Linus's basket, because on the other team we really saw them getting him with a slingshot. So
Yeah.
I'd like to point that out if you're trying to decide who to root for here, depending on your feelings on Linus and the treatment of him thereof.
I mean, it is a tie game, so we may have to go with the moral victory here.
Yeah. And see, yeah, we're
Personally,
starting.
I will be breaking the tie via judgment of their amogus.
Honestly, and again, tough break that same way, honestly. If we're basing this on Amogus and treatment of Linus as our tiebreaker, it's going to be a rough one out here for team whatever you want it to be, Jess.
Definitely. All right. It does look like Team Wifeys have completed the summer foraging bundle and have unlocked the fish tank bundle, or the fish tank group, so to speak. So they will be able to make their deposits for the crab pot bundle. They're making.
And so importantly, on that team, we're seeing some inventory management finally. The menus game is happening.
Oh goodness! Finally.
41 minutes in, their pockets are decluttered. Thank you.
Over here, it looks like with Team Whatever You Want It to Be Just, they are sleeping through the days, taking full advantage. And they've got an extra rain day, so it looks like they're prioritizing the Master Cannoli Star drop.
Yeah, I think Jess has it directly outside of their house, probably just watering it every day. It does take pretty much the whole season there before you can harvest that thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not seeing any fall crops from them. I don't know, maybe they'll throw that in later. You don't need the full season on fall crops, but maybe we're seeing one side picking fall crops, one side is picking the growing the sweet gemberry for Master Cannoli as far as fall crops go.
I do think that one of the big tiebreaker moments here will be whoever gets the golden pumpkin. I was making sure that was on the board before I said anything. But yeah, I think that whoever gets the golden pumpkin, which is only obtainable on the last day of fall, will be surprisingly one of the make or break squares on this board. It does look like we have made progress over on the fall crops as well. We've got 2 wild seeds planted. That's not the word, but it's definitely what they are.
Mixed seeds? Yeah, they're
Mixed seeds.
It's something. Yeah, I'm curious on how that's going to shape. I'm also, okay, so as you mentioned, the golden pumpkin, easiest way to get that is the Spirit Eve Festival at the very end of fall. Problem with that is, it doesn't start until like 10 p.m. It's something extremely late in the day. You got to fill that day up with some stuff. So I'm curious to see what we're doing on that day, because again, still fall. It's not like you can go and do any sort of like winter tilling to make any money on that, any of those types of scenarios. So curious what on this list we're working towards during that day, if anyone stays up for it. Could be an interesting one if, they just got to play for majority, not necessarily all the squares. So could be an interesting one to skip, I suppose.
I do think it's also interesting that we do still have level 2 farming on the board. And do we know how much experience points harvesting that sweet gemberry will give? If Jess or Lee harvest that sweet gemberry along with the other crops, that might just be that square.
It's got to be pretty close with where they're at. Though I don't think either team grew the rest of their parsnips. They did like enough to make the amogus, and I don't think they grew like the other person's. So I'm gonna check on that. What kind of XP we're working on there? Sweet Gemberry, 64 farming XP. What do you need for? You need 380 total, which is, yeah, that's not going to be enough to get them directly to 2, but there, we've got some other crops out there. Just as a handful of things, it looks like.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah. No. So yeah, we're just working our way through fall crop style. Again, this is feeling like a cozy Stardew speedrun for sure, because it is sleeping, getting up, watering, going immediately directly back to bed. Exactly kind of the game state I would expect to see at this point. So we're looking at fall 19th versus 18th. Go ahead.
At this point in the mid game, what's the, or I guess as we move to the late game here, what's the goal on this board that you are at this point most afraid of? If you were playing on either of these teams?
Yeah, so I mentioned the Gold Pumpkin one is a kind of stay up really late in a single day time waste. The listen to the mermaid sing at the night market, same problem. Night market doesn't open until like 5 p.m. and that's during the winter. So those are weird time sink ones that, could break badly for you if you wait all day and then don't get them. Build a coop, milk a cow are both setting up animal buildings on your farm. So a lot of money, a lot of resources invested into those, especially since we're not seeing anyone with like a full-on like crop or money situation. So that is almost certainly a go to the beach in winter and smack the ground for yams and winter roots scenario. Let's see on that. That's kind of the ones to be scared of. Again, similarly, on the money front, collect a tree fruit from the bat cave. You've got to get the bat cave set up, and then you've got to give it enough days that it grows something in there. The most common stuff are the non-tree fruits. So you got to just wait that out. Unless you're running like a seeded or a task situation where you can just count your steps and manipulate what shows up in the fruit cave. Which I'm assuming none of these teams are, because that would be cheating.
Sitting on chairs, legal. Manipulating the RNG feels a little bit beyond the pale.
Well, let's not go that far. It's the manipulating the RNG in a way that your game seed or say it about it. The RNG in this game is very silly, and we might see plenty of manipulating it.
I've returned, by the way. Hello.
Welcome back. We're seeing, late fall. It looks like Grace has finished up a bundle maybe and is looking at Crab Pot. Ooh, that is 4 out of 5 on Crab Pot bundle.
And it looks like on the other end here, our friends on team whatever you want it to be just have slept all the way through to winter. So they have opted out of the pumpkin.
So, yeah, Quack and I were just talking on, what's the scary stuff on the board. I was mentioning the stuff that's going to require either time sinks or money, and I am wondering if we're going to see a little bit of each of those. If you want to stay up for the mermaid at the night market, that's a great day to spend all day on the beach with your friends, smacking the ground for money.
Absolutely.
What day are we at on here? Are we at Sunday the 7th? Because we've got enter into Caroline's tea room. It's Caroline's birthday. So if we just get something that's going to get her to 2 hearts, I believe, that lets you into her tea room, she tells you, I guess, mark tea room here. We're having this discussion beforehand.
Yeah.
Or tea room, whatever you want to call it. It's her little greenhouse area where she grows tea saplings. A secret third money-making option that did get nerfed in this patch, sadly. But
unfortunately. But if you look down here, it looks like we have achieved Secret Wood Stump Jump and are about to get, there we go, Master Cannoli's Star Drop.
Nice. I'm sorry for anyone who had to see the illegal chair sitting. It is legal here in this bingo scenario. And again, the top screen there on the right, Lee getting ready to smack the ground and make some yams. Again, I said certain types of RNG manip that you'd have to know your game seed or look at the save file for illegal. This you can just do with your brain. There is just a pattern to this if you're playing on Legacy RNG, and you can just get an average of 85 gold per time you hit the ground, just from doing some secret math, the forbidden math.
The forbidden math, if you will, yes. So the way that this works is that everything, the pattern moves in like the way that a knight's move works in chess. So it is 2 across and 1 up. That's how that works.
Yeah. And then you can kind of loop it in these lines. If you've heard of clay farming but not seen this, same idea. It's just the winter pattern is a lot nicer. You can get these nice, really long lines of if you hit 9 times in this kind of diagonal pattern, you start back 2 spots to the left of where you're at. If you hit it 10 times, you start 1 on top of where that line started. We're seeing Lee do this right now. This is going to make you a lot of money very quickly. Trying to figure out what Jess is up to. Seems to have a pumpkin and is getting started helping out on the beach, actually. And we've got on the left side screen here, Mel wandering around Cindersap Forest, potentially getting more wood, the 2 of them, for coop and barn reasons. At least that's my immediate thought.
Absolutely. I think that would be the move there. I think they're also trying to do their best to get that crab pot bundle.
True, yeah. They've done pretty well on that so far. They need 1 more. I want to say it was the cockle that they still don't have, which is the least likely to show up on the beach, which is kind of annoying. It's truly just kind of, show up once a week, see how that went. See if the RNG has decided you're allowed to have a cockle now. But yeah, they're on the 26th, so the next day out, it's right, the 27th, not the 28th, for Spirit Seed Festival. We'll see if they stick around there for getting a golden pumpkin. That'd be kind of the last thing we're potentially seeing in fall from them, I would think. Let's see. Jess still on the beach using up their energy. Lee running through town, presumably to go gift something to Caroline. Look at all that. Nearly 10K in the bank.
Easy peasy. It's just that easy.
It really is truly that easy. Just memorize the little pattern and go do it.
And just go. It looks like our friends were out of luck as far as any possible gifts for Caroline goes.
Yeah, I was wondering if that traveling cart check was a YOLO.
I'm almost positive that it was. So some of Caroline's loved gifts do have a chance to show up in the traveling cart, more specifically the fish taco. I've seen that show up a little bit more commonly, as well as the summer spangle. Those, I think, would be like the 2 most likely items to show up in the cart as far as her most loved gifts go. And that would allow them pretty much immediate access into Caroline's home. However, there are universally loved gifts as well as just general liked gifts. The cool thing about birthdays in Stardew Valley is that you get a friendship buff regardless of the item not regardless of the item that you gift, but it's definitely helpful. So even if they don't have the perfect gift for Caroline, if they have a gift for Caroline, chances are good that they will get the number of hearts that they need in order to access her home and unlock that cutscene.
Yeah.
It looks like...
Yeah, good.
It looks like they're going to be building that coop.
Yeah, we're getting the coop set down. If we can find a spot to put it directly in the middle of the crop area of the farm. The classic of just like, oops, I didn't prepare for this. It's going anywhere. And yeah, on the left side, we did see the hat urchin get marked. Did a little strategy we like to call the churchin, I've heard it referred to as, where they did take that fish tank, put it in the little worship area to Yoba, the god of Pelican Town and Stardew Valley. And set up a little urchin there with a hat.
That's very good. I completely missed that.
Yeah. So they've pulled ahead 9-8 with that in the fall crops bundle. So just gaining a little bit of the lead on Team Wifey's on the left here.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm. We're coming up close on the hour here, so it's truly anyone's game at this point.
It is down to the wire.
speaking of, that was an Inner Caroline's
Tea
whatever
room.
we're calling it, tea room, sunroom.
It says tea
fire
room on the
back up.
board.
Yeah, it does say tea room on the board, but now I've gotten in my head about it after we talked about it.
I'm
Like, what
so
is that
sorry.
called? No, it's fine. Oh, but the coop is on its way. So yeah, they've got kind of like a secret square in the bank here on the right side that is going to be ready for them in just a couple days as soon as Jess makes it back home.
And they sleep for a few days because it does take a few days for Robin to build it. Also, presumably they're going to be smacking some yams as well. Hopefully after they build the coop, so they can get that last bat cave. Unless they've already gotten it while I was away.
I don't believe they have made enough money for that. They got about 10K today, so I think they're still quite a ways away. You'd have to clear most of the beach in a single day to get there.
That makes sense. All right, Jess is off to bed. It is a tight race, honestly. This is it, and honestly, this has been incredibly impressive watching these two teams work with such synergy with each other.
Yeah, the 2v2 nature of this is fun because you can kind of see as like, one person takes one goal, another person is going to go figure out some other thing. So that's always kind of an exciting. There's always something happening here.
And we've had multiple lead swaps across the race.
Oh, absolutely. Including we are now out of a tie and into the build a coop square getting marked for team, whatever you want it to be, Jess, pulling into the lead. I'm trying to think of like, what's the next thing up here? Probably Team Wifey looking for the last thing that they need for a crab pot bundle to pull in the lead. Level 2 farming is kind of out unless somebody goes and buys an animal and pets that repeatedly. Would be about the only thing unless you go to spread.
That increases your farming level?
It does.
Yeah, very silly. There's a very funny thing that I've seen happen in multiplayer community center where you try to have one person harvest all the crops, but at the end of the run, if you divide up animals and you get somebody petting the cow every day until it gets big, you get level 1 farming unexpectedly. Just some night you'll go to bed and it'll jump scare you. You'll be like, oh yeah, I've been milking the cow this whole time.
I think this might actually be a race for collect 1 tree fruit from the bat cave.
It's very well could be. That's, yeah. I mean, you've got to make the money either way. You could build a barn as well on the way and maybe try to get the milk a cow, kind of see whichever one shows up first.
We've got 3 minutes left. It is an incredibly tight race.
We really need Jess to get to the beach. I want to see 4 screens filled with yamming on the beach.
Achievement unlocked.
I need this.
All winter forage farm.
Truly, this is the true end game of all Stardew is just what if everything became smacking the ground and getting money. Let's see, this is kind of a fun thing, 2-player. We saw it earlier, but like you can set up just one offset on these patterns so that if you're working with a team, you can end up, they're actually kind of just lined directly up. But ideally you want to be like staggered offset on the pattern so that one player's lines kind of just interlace with the other ones. It also just looks very satisfying at the end of it.
It's very cool.
It's just a fun little pattern. In fact, there are whole speedruns, both Vault and Jojo Mart completion are basically you just sleep directly to winter and do this. Presumably Jess just trying to scrounge up wood to probably, I'm guessing, build this barn.
I think so. I think that is what they are gunning for, but they do only have 1 minute left. Or are we stopping once they hit the hour, or are we stopping once they... I don't think we talked about that.
Yeah. My understanding was hour cut off, but... hopefully they are keeping track of that on their end also now. Because we are coming up on that. Right. We have hit the hour. I think we are going to call it there.
Yes, I am hearing from our production that we are going to call it there.
With the ever so slight lead on, let me make sure I'm getting the name right. I've said it a few ways. Team, whatever you want, Jess, coming in at the
Whatever you want it to be.
10
Jess.
10 to 9.
Very, very close. Incredibly close.
It's 10 with an asterisk. When we pull them back in here for the interview, there will be an interrogation about what an Amogus is supposed to look like.
Yeah, if you want to really get them to kind of see if they lose any points for the Amogus and maybe for the treatment of Linus, we can hash that out in here. All right, we should probably ping those gamers. 'Cause they're just gonna keep gaming. They're gonna keep bingoing in there if we don't stop
Yeah,
them.
they are plucking away. Somebody should call them.
But I mean, I am getting to see people smack yam, so I can't complain about it too much.
It's very mesmerizing.
It's yeah, you could really stare at this all day. And I have. I'll go into a stream and watch somebody smack games the whole time.
I really should tell them that time is up now that
Yeah.
yeah. Time has been
go.
called. There we go. Yeah. There
Let
we
them
go.
forage. Let them vibe.
What's up, gamers?
Welcome back, gamer.
Welcome back, gamer.
We just built the barn to
I
milk
know,
a
I
cow.
saw.
I could just drag everybody up because they can't join
That
us
must have been what it
manually.
was.
Hello.
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 Hello, friends.
Right away, Lee, defend your artistic choice to put the Amogus face down sideways.
What do you mean? It's sideways. That's how it goes. That's how you make the Amogus.
We had a different interpretation on the other stream.
And they have like the
Okay.
arm. It's like the arm in the back, and then it's the two legs going down,
Yeah, you
and
had
then
this-
like
you
the
just had, like-
head.
What I'd call a wide Amogus, maybe?
Oh, sorry.
You had
Maybe
the two leggies and the front part out, but it was.
I wanted all
It's a
the
little
parsnips
squished.
to be used. I'm sorry. I wanted all the parsnips as much as
That's
I
so
could.
fair.
So we made it happen there.
I think we need to come together as a community and figure out what this Amogus situation is, really.
That is true.
How are you feeling, gamers?
Okay,
Pretty good.
Y'all
I
won,
think
right?
we all
1,
kind
2,
of hit
3, 4, 5,
strides.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so y'all won by 1.
Yeah,
By
we just built
one?
a coop, so
Oh.
we were about to get a cow as well.
We were
And
waiting.
yeah.
We
built a
were
barn.
very close to Mermaid Sing, and then we
It's
were
like
for
3:30 p.m., so we were like
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
We are 2:20 p.m. on the 15th.
Oh, so see, I had a feeling that because I
Mhm.
saw you guys mark off Caroline's tea room, I was like, and we were just hitting Winter 7. I was like, I bet they're on Winter 7 right now, and I think we're gonna squeak ahead to get to the night market.
Y'all hit the boots as soon as we also hit floor 10, which was really funny.
There were so many close races on these goals. It was
It was a very good
exciting.
exchange
When
the
you
whole
guys
way
clicked
through.
mine's 50, I had just reached 45, and I was like, no. And you clicked salmon berries like right before we got the 50. It was,
Yeah, we were
very-
like a couple salmonberries away from 50. That was tragic. But
Heck yeah,
Mine's
that
50
means
That was
that's
fun.
good. I didn't pick up the
Mhm.
leprechaun hat then before I grabbed the 15th salmon bear because I was about to.
Yeah, I would like to know about the leprechaun hat because you were wearing a hat when you picked up this hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted a hat for Lee.
Okay,
I need
we
a
thought it was
hat.
maybe.
Thank you.
That's good to know. Thank you.
I do want to see if our crab pot strat would have paid off. We were waiting for one more item. We were hoping Courtney had one today.
Yeah, it was our last one. Did you?
Yeah.
That would not have paid off. So
Okay.
that's
Oh, that's a
fine.
bummer.
That's
We
a
were
bummer.
talking about
would've-
that. You just. That's
Yeah, we were-
that situation.
We were about to get milk a cow, and then also we triggered the tree fruit or the bat cave, so we were also waiting for that.
We
Yeah,
were
that's what
fourth.
we were doing. We were like, we should just forage farm while we're waiting because I feel like the only things we could reach right now were waiting things. So we started to wait a little bit on the
For Golden
Spirit
Pumpkin.
Festival for Golden Pumpkin, and then we're like, we literally have nothing that we can work on today. I don't think this is worth it. And then
Yeah, we saw all of your, like, all the things that you were hitting for fall and just assumed you were going for the golden pumpkin, so we just, like, bailed on it.
Yep. Just
we should probably do sign-offs, though.
Yes.
A
absolutely.
whole swath of them.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much for watching our 2v2 silly Stardew Lockout Bingo. Again, my name is Lee, aka 20-something-loser.
Hi, my name is Mel, aka MelMelMelCrochets. You can find me on Twitch at my username.
Hi, I'm Grace, aka Princess Shortcake. You can also find me on Twitch and most socials at either Princess Shortcake or a variation of it.
And my name is theValiantSun. You can find me on all platforms as theValiantSun. Sometimes I'm on Twitch.
I suppose I'll jump in on comms. Zachary20xx, yeah, same idea. To find me at one of those places under that name. Thanks for having me.
And I've been Blackheart Wings. You can also find me pretty much anywhere at Blackheart Wings. Twitch, Blue Sky, and Instagram are what I use the most, so you can find me there. Thank you all so much for having us on comms. This was a lot of fun.
This was so much fun.
This is great.
Thank
Glad to hear
you.
y'all were having fun in there. It was such a good one.
And thank you, Quack, for hosting. It was great having you here as well.
Yes.
Nah, I'm just vibing and learning things about the illegality of chairs.
Always excited to make you participate in Stardew content.
Thank you so much, Stardew Gang. This was a lovely... Don't go anywhere, because in just a few short moments, we are going to take the competitive spirit and move it towards something a little bit more cooperative. When we come back from the break, Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time Randomizer Co-op. So don't